Welcome in again, everybody. It's Tiger Mark here with another episode of Tiger Mark Takes, along with your co-host Kenneth Mitchell. How you doing today, my man?
Doing fine. How you doing, Tiger Mark?
Oh man, I can't complain, man. It's been a long work week, man, and it's winding down. So I'm ready for some football tomorrow night. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, so am I. I'm looking forward to it. We got the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs coming into town for LSU's first home game of 2025 this season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely an opponent that cannot be overlooked. I know a lot of people may say it's a mismatch on paper. At the end of the day, you still have to go out and play the game. I'm looking for a big game.
Definitely.
I'm looking for the game not to be close. If we play anywhere near the way we played against Clemson, this game shouldn't be close, my man. What's your thoughts?
I agree. LSU dominated against Clemson, especially in that second half. Um,
Right,
especially for the defense side of the ball. I mean, they dominated, and LSU's on the offensive side of things. The offensive line
right,
performed pretty good, I would say. So, both from the run game and the passing game, it was very surprising, to see that the offense. Which also, I say this surprising, but I also said that you know in the first show that I feel that they would prevail, and play well, and they did. So I mean, just like I pretty much, hoped for, and I expect this to carry over, in tomorrow night's game, and more likely obliterate the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs tomorrow night.
yeah. We got head coach Sonny Cumby bringing his Bulldogs to Tiger Stadium, and it would be do them all the justice in the world to pull an upset off. But I'm more than sure Coach Kelly and those kids are locked in and ready to play, and they focus, man, and they're not gonna let this game slip by 'em, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh yeah,
that being said, I'm not expecting a letdown. I'm expecting a big performance out of the entire team. What I am hoping for
yeah.
is do we have to do and get all the starters out of there by the second half, by halftime at least. I'm sorry, by halftime.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
want to see. I don't want to see the starters in past halftime. I talked to somebody about that, and they want to see Nets play the whole game. No, I want
No,
to see. I
no.
want to see what we have behind Nussmeyer
Yeah,
in
we
case
wanted to see
something
how
was to
depth
happen.
be at work. Yeah, you
Yes,
want to see the
sir.
LSU's depth be at work because just to single a guy out who didn't play in last week's game against Clemson was Ashton Stamps. Ashton
Yeah.
Stamps didn't
No.
play at all, not one
No,
snap
no
in the
playing time at
game
all.
against Clemson, and that was somewhat very surprising. Um, but I expect him to play in this game pretty much a good bit of snaps in tomorrow night's game. Um, I know that DJ Pickett played. I think he had 25 defensive snaps he played in the game. Um, and of course, your boy Mansour Delane,
Yeah,
the player of the game.
my
You
guy.
know, uh, played a hell of a game.
Right,
And PJ Wooden at the other corner stood
right.
out. You know what I'm saying? Both in the nickel and outside on the boundary. So boundary corner. So I mean he done uh he's pretty much playing the way like he started from last season and they're just carrying over, to his sophomore season. So yeah.
And you let it be known. It snuck by me. I didn't see it, but you spoke on it. And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it. The guy got in the game last week. DJ Pickett. What were your
Yeah.
thoughts about that? I didn't even
Oh man.
realize it, man. I looked up. They was like, oh, he played. I think he had like two solo tackles. I think.
Yeah, he did. He had, and it was all solo. And I didn't see it either, but they say he played 25 snaps. So I was see how we missed it, but we did. But he played like 25 snaps
Right.
in the game and did pretty good. Um, which I guess, like I said, that with Ashton Stamps, well, according to Brian Kelly,
Right.
he said that there was a rotation basis that he wanted to
Excuse me.
have the secondary or cornerback position to be rotated, um, to which they have set for the Clemson game. So um, that's why I did this in this game tomorrow night. That Ashton Stamps should be able to play more snaps in tomorrow night's game, which I have no doubt he will. So I
Yeah,
was looking for him, but now we know why that he wasn't, because he wasn't in the rotation in the first game, but he should be in the next one.
man. Moving forward, I am concerned about Caleb Jackson, if he's mentally here or what's going on with him, because
Right.
coming into the season, I saw he was in pretty good shape, pretty good condition,
Hmm.
and I really expected Caleb Jackson, along with Caden Durham, to be our thunder and lightning. I know it's only one game,
Right.
but to see him only get one carry. Now he was in the game for a few plays more than that, but he only
So
got
he
one
did play a
carry.
couple other snaps.
But is that concerning to you moving forward?
Yeah, I would say so. It definitely would have it had my mind boggled about it. Only to play one offensive snap, and other snaps that he may have played was, I think, was like in for run pass blocking or something like that on a
Hmm.
couple offensive sets. But
Okay.
yeah, it's that is a bit of concerning because this is what his third or second or third year,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
it seems like I don't know what it is going to take for him to break through. I mean, is it a mental thing or is it some kind of a physical thing? Um, we don't know, but the guy has talent, immense talent, and he has not yet to come through and breakthrough. So on it, but yeah, it's definitely a concern. So I mean, like I said, like you mentioned, it's only one game. We'll see how the season. They got a lot of season ahead. So we'll see how it comes out
Well,
with him.
hopefully,
We'll give him
hopefully,
a due time.
yeah, hopefully tomorrow they feed him the ball enough, man. Because if not, what Juwan Johnson, I think can give us Caleb maybe moving down the depth chart if he doesn't get, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, and also with Xavion and Aaron Anderson also came out the backfield. Particularly Xavion. You seen the run plays that they ran with Xavion, wide receiver, out the backfield as well. So those carries normally would have been went to Caleb, but um, I don't know, Tiger Mark. I mean, um,
saying? I tell you what,
it's
I tell
it's
you, man, listen, he's going to whatever's going on with him, if it's mental or whatever's going on with the kid, he's gonna have to get it together because
he does.
we expected so much out of Caleb coming in as a Tiger. He was highly touted, man, and when we got him, I was so excited about him, man. Man, like that run he had against Mississippi State.
Right when he went
I
over.
recorded that run when he
Oh
ran over that
man.
guy. I
Mm-hmm.
recorded that run and made that. I put that on one of my YouTube short videos, and
Right.
I just expect more. Like I said, I'm not giving up on him. I just hope he get enough touches tomorrow. Maybe that if he get enough touches tomorrow, maybe that could get him going. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But
Right.
again, I don't want to go too far ahead down the road. But I believe we must get those players some reps moving forward because you never
Got to.
know what can happen, man. And it's the next man up. And
Right.
I'm
And
hoping, I'm hoping moving forward we can handle our business, like I said, tomorrow and at least by halftime. If not by halftime, by the third quarter, have the starters out, let your freshmen, sophomores, backups play, and do the same thing moving forward to Southeastern. I don't want to
right.
see. Hopefully, I don't want to see any injuries before Florida come to town. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what's key to me. These next two games, take care of your business, stay locked in mentally and physically, and do what you got to do.
Exactly. You got to do that to stay in. You want to develop your talent. So there's no other way of developing that talent than to play them. You have to play them in a game like this in order for them to develop. Hopefully, Caleb Jackson will come through along with others, at other different positions. You want to play as much as your depth so they could gain as much as experience going forward. To your point that you just mentioned, that just in case, what I'm
Right.
saying, you want to see what they look like, you want to see what they, how they move, how they execute within the defense or offense, or special teams. You want to get a look at them at those so you can see what you're working with, and then you could play them along the line
Yeah.
through the season. So yeah, you
Some,
got to do it.
somebody asked me, do I think LSU was looking past Louisiana Tech? Like hell no, no indeed no.
No way, it's too early for that.
It's way too early to be looking
It's too
past
early
any
for that. If
opponent.
they trying to, is somebody trying to mention that question because we got Florida after this game? I'm thinking
Right,
that's what that is. No way,
right.
no way. I'm not even looking
So
at it that way. Trust
so
me, LSU is taking it one game at a time. Just as the mantra they're stating for this season: 1-0, 1-0 every game. You know what
so
I'm saying? So there's no way of they trying to overlook their next opponent. They just 1-0 and then on to the next one. 1-0 and on to the next one.
another guy that I was a little disappointed in last Saturday night. He only had one reception, and the one he did
I
catch,
think I know who you're
he
talking
fumbled.
about. Yeah,
Chris Hilton.
Chris Hilton.
You're going to have to give him some opportunities deep. Take some deep shots. Go
Yeah,
vertically down the
yeah,
field.
yep,
Those that if you do that and he catches the ball, that gives him potential to get his mindset back right, man.
right,
Give him some shots and some opportunities to say, well, hey, we haven't lost faith in you. We still trust in you.
right,
Keep your head up. We're gonna need you down the line. He'll win some damn games.
right,
You know. So hopefully they can get Chris the ball, get him some passes, get him going early, along with Caleb and everybody else, man. And like I said, get this thing going and get them out of there by halftime, no later than third quarter, and rest these guys up because that SEC grind before you know to be here, and it will be brutal. You know,
right, right. So,
Nussmeyer, man, you knew he passed for what 230 yards last week and a touchdown.
mm-hmm.
I said 310 and 305 with two touchdowns this Saturday night against Louisiana Tech. I believe he has the potential and he will pass for over 300 yards and two touchdowns, maybe three this Saturday
With,
night. I'm gonna say
with it,
325, three touchdowns, no interceptions, and I'm gonna go rushing again. I'm gonna go 16 yards.
okay.
What's
I
your
like
thought?
that. I like that. I would say that go out on them and mention. I guess you expect Nussmeier to have that within the first half. I suppose, huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
by
I like
halftime.
that.
By halftime, yeah.
Okay,
By
yeah, so
halftime,
that's why I
without a
said,
doubt.
it goes to like what you mentioned about the players that didn't come through as much within the passing game, like a Chris Hilton, and I would even say Nick Anderson as well. They mostly use Nick Anderson as a run blocker,
Right.
which he did pretty good. Which he did pretty good, but I expect him to come through um, you know, pass catching wise and yards wise, in tomorrow night's game. Same thing with Barry and Brown. Um, um,
Aaron
I think that
Anderson.
Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas,
Yeah.
the tight ends with Trey Dez and Bauer Sharp and
Now,
Green.
I want
So
your. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I want your thoughts and to all my viewers and subscribers and the listeners of tonight's show. Y'all comment. Let me know what y'all think about this. Kenny, somewhere down the line, I would love to see this potential lineup in the red zone. And I've been thinking about it and thinking about it. I think I spoke on it on the Boost Sports podcast Monday night when I was on there with Kevin Faulkner. So, and not just red zone situation, maybe short yardage situation, early short yardage. Let's say like it's a 2nd and 1 or second and no more than 2nd and 4.
Hmm.
I would love to see Nick Anderson, Bauer Sharp, and Trey Green on the field some point in time in some short yardage situation like
Short
that.
yardage situation.
When they are looking for the run, man.
Right.
What's your thoughts, man? I mean, pick your poison. You lining up like that with Caden in the backfield. 9 times out of 10, the defense is going to think you're what running the
Going to
ball.
run the ball. Yeah. That would
I
be like
just
a big formation. It's like thinking that it's going to be like a run formation, a big formation, whether it be an I formation or a broken I formation out of that. With the two tight ends and a running back or two running backs. They're going to think that, and I would love to see that offensive set implemented within their scheme. I just hopefully they have that up their scheme, up their sleeve, and to see how it can work, with that. So
yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely like that, Tiger
That
Mark. That sounds pretty good.
that's that's something I just been sitting down thinking about, man, for the longest.
Mhm.
And it just been I'm like I mean practice to the public. I mean, I'm sorry, to the media. We probably can't do it now, but I would love to run it by Brian Kelly if I get that opportunity. Hey, coach, let Joe Sloan know. Let's try this one and see how it
Right.
works out. You know,
Yeah. You can't. It's nothing to it but to do it. You can. It won't hurt if you don't try. So
yeah,
I mean, um, that's how I would pursue it. I mean, you open yourself up to try new things, for the next game, and within the scheme, and see, change up, the
right,
personnel for the, whatever the scheme of that play is. Hey, let's try it, put it together, and see how it goes.
right. Well, to all my subscribers and listeners of our show, if you're just tuning in, we're doing the post game preview. I'm sorry, not post game. We're doing a preview of the upcoming matchup tomorrow night against
Hmm.
Louisiana Tech.
Hmm.
And speaking of that, Tech quarterback, he has good legs, man. He likes to run.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
Those
coming
by the
off a
name of
yeah, they coming off a 23 to nothing victory, I think, over Southeastern last week, right?
right, Trey Kukuk.
Cook, yeah,
Uh,
he has
yeah.
14 of 19 on his year so far with 130 yards, one touchdown, but he's been sacked 3 times. So what does that
Right,
tell you
right.
about
Uh,
Southeastern Lions team? So
yeah, and he's a transfer from a community college football team, um, transferring over from there to Louisiana Tech.
right,
Um, they, like you mentioned, the guy has legs that he can run with the ball. From what I've heard, that he doesn't have a strong arm, but he's accurate.
yeah.
So that's one thing he's not good at, but he's good in the other. So LSU hopefully could be aware of that, along with his legs.
Yeah,
Um,
because against Southeastern, he had 16 carries, so he kept the ball 16 times for 48 yards, and his longest run was a 10-yard run.
hmm.
So it's definitely going to present a challenge for us, but I think we'll be up for the challenge. And I think this early in the season, that's something we need, considering the likes of Texas A&M quarterback we're going to have to face later on down the road. Vanderbilt quarterback is a runner. Got
Hmm.
Lagway in 3 weeks, so this is a much needed test, and I'm looking for us to pass it with flying colors. What's your thoughts?
Most definitely. The defense would definitely. I don't look. I mean, look, well, I want to get to the part where he's going to, but I expect pretty much the same thing from how LSU played last week,
Right.
to be even more better and tomorrow night. Um, I wouldn't be surprised, although I could be wrong, if they shut out Louisiana Tech tomorrow night, if they carry over from how they played against Clemson last week. I
Without a
mean, pick
doubt.
your poison, man, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you got Perkins, you got the weeks,
Right.
um, Gordon,
Yeah.
the Jacobian Guillory, Peyton. I mean, bro. I mean, it's LSU's defense, man. It's dominant, and
Solid. Solid.
I expect
Solid group. Solid group.
very solid, and even depth wise behind the starters, they rotate so many
Right.
guys at different positions. Don't matter what positions, whether it be from the defensive line, linebackers, or cornerbacks and safeties. The depth, even the depth behind in those positions, is solid. So I mean, you
Right.
know, if somebody, God forbid, hoping nobody, but somebody was to go down, they have quality depth to back them up.
Right.
So, yeah, I
Well,
expect them to be pretty good.
yeah. Outside of that, I'm looking at the stats, man. The quarterback had more carries last week than their leading rusher, which is the running back. I think his name is Clay Thievian.
Yeah.
And Clay had 16 carries for 61 yards last
Hmm.
Saturday, and he averaged 10.2 yards a carry, and his longest run was 33 yards with a touchdown.
Right.
And coming in behind him is the other leading rusher, Andrew Burnett. He only had 4 carries and 23 yards rushing off those 4 carries. He averaged 5.8 yards per carry, and his longest run was 10 yards. So
So,
if you want to go off this, what I'm thinking for stat wise,
hmm
I'm thinking the quarterback. Well, as far as Southeastern game, they did so, but I'm thinking the quarterback is pretty much prone to run the ball more than the running backs out of kind of formation that they
right.
run.
I would think it's like, to your point, I think it's like more of like a RPO action
Yeah,
type quarterback type offense.
read option and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
run
yeah,
pass
and
option. Yeah,
yeah, so I think that's the type of offense they run. Their leading receiver from last week's game was a tight end
yeah,
named Eli Finley. He caught 4 receptions for 59 yards.
yeah. Tight end. Okay.
Yep, a tight end. On the defensive side of the ball, I
See
don't
how
know if
that
you
works
remember.
out. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the
Go.
defensive side of the ball for Louisiana Tech, the guy that stood out down, there were multiple guys, but there was this guy that did stood out. I don't know if you remember this guy, but he actually played at LSU.
Mhm.
His name is Colby Fields. He had 13 tackles, 1.5 tackles for a loss, and 1.5 sacks.
Okay.
So he stood out. I think he did formerly play at LSU.
Right.
I think he mostly was a backup linebacker. Um, but he stood out and for the defense. Now it was multiple guys as well. Makai Mason and Sifa Leota,
Okay.
um, all combined for 35 tackles, 9.5 tackles for a loss, and 4 sacks. So the
Okay.
defense for Louisiana Tech, I mean, I know it was against Southeastern, of course, but the defense actually stood up in this game, and
Yeah.
that's why they were able to shut out Southeastern.
Well.
Mostly they scored their points. Well, they
Yeah.
scored a few on offense,
I
but their
saw.
defense,
Yeah. Defensively.
uh,
Yeah. Well, not to take nothing away from Louisiana Tech, but Southeastern Louisiana, they don't have as much talent as they're going to see, as Louisiana Tech going to see tomorrow night in our Tigers. That's a
right,
no brainer, you know.
right.
So. I'm just going again. I'm not expecting the game to be close at all. Continue to play one game at a time, baby.
Right.
We're not going to overlook our opponent, and I know that they won't. Brian Kelly, we have those guys ready to play. And last week, I was pretty good on predicting. This week, I
Hmm.
have the old crystal ball back out again. This week here, as far as game score, game prediction, I'm going Tigers 56, Louisiana Tech 10. And my defense there will be, I'm switching it up a little bit. This week, I am going with the transfer D lineman Patrick Payton. That's my that's my player to watch.
Okay.
My defensive player of the game. Offensively, I want to say Nussmeyer, but I'm expecting that O line to do so well. I'm going to give it to my guy this week. I expect Caden Durham to have a monster game, and he will be my offensive player of the week. What's your thoughts?
Okay. All right. I like those picks. Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good. Okay, for me, I'm gonna start defensively as well,
Mm,
and I'm gonna go with. I guess this is common from what I'm gonna say, but Harold Perkins,
right.
from this defensive player for me, and offensively, I'm gonna go with a guy that's gonna have a bounce back game in comparison to not having much of a good game last week, and that's Chris Hilton, the wide receiver. I expect him to have a great game and a bounce back game, especially in this one against Louisiana Tech. So yeah.
What? Moving forward to tomorrow's game. O line.
Hmm.
The O line that we seen that did pretty darn good against Clemson, that goes against that stout defense in practice every day. I'm looking for LSU to dominate the trenches tomorrow on the offensive side of the ball as well as the defensive side of the ball. That's why I'm expecting Caden Durham to have such a big game and Nussmeyer to have those yards and stats by halftime that I predicted because I think the line is going to hold up. And once again, you're playing together, you're learning each
Hmm.
other's tendencies and ways. You're only going to get better as time goes on. Time moves forward. That unit gelling together on both sides of the ball, we will be something to be reckoned with. So,
Yes.
what's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, as a team, that's how you want to develop, and
All right,
you want to gel together, one team, um, all on one accord, and it all starts of how you play, how you execute the plays going in, whether it be offensively, defensively, special teams,
all
be
right,
all in one accord. With that one mindset of togetherness. And that's the best way. Once you have that total mindset of that, that's how you can be able to execute the plays that you play on offense and defense,
all right,
from offensive, defensive, and special team standpoints. So
all right,
it's key. So I mean, everybody have that mindset, you know,
all
of
right.
that aspect, and
All
everything will
right.
be fine.
Well, as you know, tomorrow will be my first time. I'll be doing media coverage for LSU Louisiana Tech game in the press box. I'm excited. Thanks in part to the guys over at the Boost Sports Media. I appreciate the opportunity. And this is going to give me a more insight up close and personal what I think about this team. As
Hmm.
far as offensive play calling wise, defensive play calling wise, I'll be able to see, you know, not so much what Nussmeyer sees on the field, but I'll be kind of close up enough to see, well, hey, he had this guy open, or he should have took this check down, different things like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So just moving forward, man. I'm just excited for the opportunity.
I'm excited for you.
And I thank God for you. I thank God for our show, man. And hopefully people come start and subscribe and start watching us and check us out, man, because I think we do a pretty good job over here and we know our football, man. So,
I forgot to mention one thing. I forgot to give you my score prediction before we end.
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My score prediction, I would say LSU 62, the Louisiana Tech 10. So
Okay, we
there
we
you
we
go.
close. We close.
Right.
Okay, well, we got some outside of LSU and Louisiana Tech tomorrow, man. We don't really have a lot of big matchups, but we do off the bat. We have a top 25 matchup, and that's Michigan going to Norman, Oklahoma to play the Sooners. That's
Hmm.
15th ranked Michigan against 18th ranked Oklahoma. I'm gonna let you have the floor as far as prediction wise, and I'll be next.
All right. Well, yeah, that is the marquee matchup of this college football's week 2 weekend, and Michigan with Underwood and Oklahoma with Mateer. So you know what? I mean, look, and there's nothing against because what Underwood did towards LSU.
Well, it
I'm
is
going to
for
say,
me.
well,
Go
you can
ahead.
say that too, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it ain't just that for me. But
Right.
I'm going to say, predictions wise, I'm going to predict Oklahoma to win the game.
Mhm.
And I'll say Oklahoma wins it 31-14.
All right. Well, Bryce Underwood, the guy made a business decision. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, he did.
A
He
lot of
did.
these kids, NIL, man, they not going to the universities no more for the love of that school. They going because of almighty dollar. So
Oh
I,
yeah.
I can't be mad at him. But at the end of the day, I like Oklahoma. Reason why Bryce is going to be good. I saw him last week. Last week he has a strong arm, but he have a tendency to throw the ball too hard when he had receivers like within 2 or 3 yards of him. He's throwing the ball too hard. But the main reason why I like Oklahoma in this game is simply because Underwood, first time start, and he's on the road
Mm-hmm.
in a hostile environment.
Hostile environment. I've been to
You know,
Norman before, so
and
yeah.
and 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 they will be rocking and waiting. Okay, I like a close game. I like Michigan being able to run the ball. Bryce may be able to run the ball a little while. You know, most part of the game, get some key runs. But when it's all said and done, and the dust settles, I like Oklahoma 28, Michigan 21. And that's my score, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, another one. Now, this is tricky. You have South Florida going into Gainesville. Now, me personally, I'm going to cut through the chase and be short and sweet about it. I like South Florida. I know Billy Napier is doing a good job over at Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They are turning things around. I still don't think Florida have the athletes that they once had. They are getting them, but they are not quite where they want to be yet. I like South Florida in an upset by a touchdown, 35-28.
Okay. Um, yes, this is another good matchup. I would say USF's defense, man, is pretty good.
There you go.
They could cause havoc for the opposing team's offense, and
Right.
you and not and the havoc they cause is like they can have make turnovers. They could cause turnovers, whether it's causing fumbles or interceptions.
Hmm.
So to that point, and I think USF is going to score some touchdowns off some turnovers. So to that
Yeah.
point, I'm going to go with an upset as well with USF
Right.
28-17
You like them too.
over Florida.
Okay. Okay. Another intriguing matchup. The Lane Train last year, Kentucky rode into town. Mark Stoops and company pulled the upset.
Yeah.
Everybody picked Ole Miss. Ole Miss is ranked, but Kentucky's at home.
Right.
Mark Stoops will have them ready to play. And you know, last year's win have to be bulletin board material to let them know what they accomplished last season, and
Hmm.
probably saying why it can't be done again this season. So,
Right.
who do you like?
I'm gonna go with Ole Miss this time. I'm gonna go with Ole Miss. I think they're gonna get revenge. I think they're gonna get back at Kentucky. Regardless of the fact that yes, it's at Kentucky. Um, I think Ole Miss will bounce back. Simmons, I like him at quarterback. A guy that has legs and an arm, a strong arm as well. I
He's a
think
lefty.
yes, he is.
Hmm.
Um, I think they're going to prevail the game. I would say Ole Miss 30 and Kentucky 7.
They call me Tiger Mark. My real name is Mark. So I'm going with the other Mark. That's down there in Lexington, Kentucky. Mark Stoops and Company. I like them to pull the upset at home in a close dogfight, not a high scoring game. I like Kentucky 17-13. All right. So Arizona State, the 12th ranked team in the country, travels to Stark Vegas, where those cowbells will be going crazy. Trust me, I've been there, and those cowbells are very much annoying, okay? Very much so. Very much so. With this one, I think Arizona State, I want to go upset Mississippi State, but I think Arizona State is going to have a little bit too much for them, man. Arizona State bringing a lot of talent, quarterback returns. Some of their key receivers returning. They lost their running back. I forget the guy's name. He went pretty Scatterboo. They lost Scatterboo, but I just think Arizona State's going to be a little too tough and bring too much returning starters and stuff, man. Too much to the game, and just that's going to be the difference in the ball game to me, man. You know,
I will have to go with Arizona State as well to beat Mississippi State. Um, that game is in Stark Vegas. Okay. Yeah, I still think Arizona State is still going to prevail. To your point, they have too much talent coming back. They got a returning starting quarterback in return, receivers and stuff like that. Yeah, they lost Scatterboo, but they still have a lot of talent coming back. And I like their head coach as well. So, I mean, Arizona State wins it. I would say if I had to put a score on it, I would probably say 31 to Mississippi State's 14.
we're gonna do these last two. We're gonna get some closing thoughts, man, and call it the afternoon, my brother. Okay, this is my two upset specials. Okay, you have Baylor going to 17th ranked SMU. Baylor is coming off a game loss, I might add, to Auburn, in which I felt Baylor had more than a share of opportunities to win the game, but it didn't go that way because they could not stop the running quarterback, Jackson Arnold. That's his name, if I'm correct, right? That's over at Auburn now. Arnold couldn't throw the ball, but he ran. And if I'm correct, I have to take the stats. If I'm wrong, my subscribers and viewers, I'm sorry. But I think Auburn still gave up over 500 some total yards against Baylor in that game. Yeah,
That's a
yeah. So that being said, I really do believe that Baylor goes to SMU and pulls the upset. And I like a high scoring game this time around, believe it or not. I'm a defensive guy, but with these two defensive wise, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. And I like Baylor to prevail by the final score of 42-33.
Um, I would go SMU. I would go against you on that, and I would go SMU to beat Baylor. Um, I would say 28-16. SMU over Baylor. I pick SMU.
At least you got Illinois, the 1-0 Fighting Illini versus a Duke Blue Devil team that's also 1-0 at 11 p.m. contest tomorrow at Duke. And Illinois is highly ranked, and I think they're licking their chops in Durham, North Carolina. And I really think that Illinois is primed for the upset, man. Duke typically plays hard at home, and I think Duke will get a couple of key turnovers. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but I think they're going to get a couple of key turnovers that'll be the deciding factor in that game, a close game. And I like Duke 24, Illinois 20.
I'm going to ride with Illinois. I'm going to ride that wave with them. I heard a lot of good things about them and how they played. And like you said, they're ranked. They're highly ranked. I'm gonna go with Illinois against the Duke Blue Devils here. I'm gonna go Illinois 24, Duke Blue Devils 14.
Again, LSU will face off against Louisiana Tech tomorrow night. Kickoff set for 6:30 p.m. Kenny, do you have any information if that game is on television or not?
On SEC Network, ESPN Network Plus, ESPN Network Plus. So it's like they are, but it's I don't know if quite for sure if it's actually SEC Network. Like you just click on the channel and it'll pop up, but I don't know if it's by prescription for sure. So I have to look more into it to find out to see. I actually have that, so I'll be able to see it nonetheless. But
Or I forgot to speak on this. Last week we had two turnovers, two fumbles. Nuss never put the ball in harm's way. I think maybe one or two times he may have had a few bad throws, but other than that, Nuss had
mhm.
that needs to be addressed and put into perspective. Take care of the ball. I don't give a damn who your opponent is. That's a must. 9 times out of 10, you lose the turnover battle, you lose the game. But unfortunately for us, defense wins championships, and defense pretty much won that game for us Saturday night. Not to take away the bad calls, and we had touchdowns taken off the board. And if you go back and look at what Brian Kelly said Baron Brown touchdown wasn't a touchdown, that it was a correct call. After seeing his interview, he said it was a correct call, that it wasn't a touchdown. So,
And I heard that too, but I
too, but hey, that's rules rules on the go, especially when they seem to be playing our Tigers.
yeah he discussed with the NCAA and the SEC um, committee about that. So I mean, and they discussed about talking about how the rules were supposed to be implemented to that call, and they discussed it with him, and he listened and offered his input in that regard to that too. But I mean, Uh, I don't know if that. I think that's just coach speak to me. I mean, if you ask me, but hey, that's just my opinion. Hey, the wish is on me. So
Just touching on it again that we tomorrow night we give our score prediction. Just speaking on some must things that we have to do. And that was number one on my list, take care of the ball. We must set the tempo early. You're at home. Excuse me, we're at home. We're the far more superior team. And let those guys know off the bat, y'all should not even be on the field with us. No disrespect intended. Let them know this is a whole different LSU, whole new mindset. Handle your business. Get these guys out of here early. Break Louisiana Tech spirit and will to play from the get go. From the opening kickoff, make them feel that damn, we shouldn't even have took this game. Make them feel like they don't even belong on the same field with us. Do what you got to do, and move on to next week. But again, Kenneth, it's one game at a time, man.
exactly. Um, make sure make sure your will break their will.
I don't want to see. I'm just hoping. Even with the backups, when the backups come in, when their time come in, I hope I don't see no slack off. Just because the start, I want to see the same that whatever the starters give you. I want to see the guys coming off the bench give that same 120% effort also. And like I said, set the bar and the standard high for those guys that's fighting behind you that's coming off the bench, man. You know, we need to moving forward. I don't know who the locker room presence is, but the vocal leaders are. But we're gonna have to talk to one another in that locker room and get everybody week in and week out on the same mind frame. You know, if it's Hal Perkins, if Weeks, if it's Nussmeyer, y'all stay locked in, do what y'all have to do, stay out of trouble. Do not listen to what the media is hyping you up to be. Y'all know how good y'all can be. Why y'all need somebody else to tell y'all how good y'all can be? Y'all know what y'all doing. Just take care of your business and do it. You know, so I'm not tomorrow is not a trap game to me. Tomorrow is a statement game to me to say y'all do not belong on the same field with us. Simply put. Simply put. What's your thoughts?
Um, Overlook this team. They know that's in front of them tomorrow night in the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. They have to stay completely focused and maintain that focus on the task at hand, and that's against the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. That's the team that's going to be in front of them tomorrow night. Your focus should be on that, not the next team beyond Louisiana Tech. Because if you do look beyond the team that's in front of you tomorrow night in Louisiana Tech, then obviously you're going to lose focus in that, and it will show on the field, and it will show in the execution on the field, and that you don't want. You don't want that for your team, and other people will see that and be like, "See, hey, they did overlook. They looking beyond Louisiana Tech, and they know that Florida is coming in at home in Baton Rouge next weekend. So you have to maintain focus at the task at hand. You can't overlook the next team that's in front of you right now. You got to maintain. You got to maintain it. You got to maintain it.
2 weeks from now for Florida, and you still got Louisiana Tech tomorrow night. No southeast. I mean, no southeastern Louisiana. We have Louisiana Tech tomorrow. That's the main thing. Now those guys are saying that's the kind of mind frame they have. So hopefully they're telling the truth, and we'll see it tomorrow. Again, I don't believe this game will be close. I do personally believe that these guys are focused and they're locked in and they're ready to go. And I still feel that they have a lot to prove to the doubters and the haters. So again, the sky's the limit for this team moving forward. we can get better in a lot of aspects of the game, but that's what you play the game for. That's why you practice to get better. So to me, these next 2 weeks, if played right, are nothing more than tune-up games. So LSU just needs to seize the moment, do what they have to do early, get those starters out of there, and get those other guys some playing time, and we should be fine. So anything you want to touch on before we close it out, my bud?
Looking forward to tomorrow night's game, and hopefully to see a lot of players play them tomorrow night in this game as well. Like you said, with the depth, the backups to play in the game, so they can get the development out of the team. Hopefully, everybody from the offensive and defensive and special teams execution be pretty good for tomorrow night's game, and most importantly, hopefully nobody gets hurt. Lord willing, and just expect a complete dominated game by our LSU Tigers to happen tomorrow night. That's my take.
Guys, to everybody that tuned in, to those who didn't, again, y'all like, comment, subscribe, and y'all check us out. So we will be back, hopefully with the help of the good Lord, Sunday morning with the recap and the final score of LSU versus Louisiana Tech. Y'all already know what time it is. See y'all guys next week. And what we say, go damn.
Tiger.
Peace. Holla at you.
All right, peace.
All right.
All right, man.